I'm excited to get to read a story to you, and this is from a book that I had when I was a little girl. And this is my favorite story, and this is actually how I learned how to read. So, here we go. The Little Red Hen. Once upon a time, there was a little red hen who lived in the little house on the edge of a big forest. She could cook, and she could sew, and she swept and dusted the little house every day. She had a garden where she planted corn and potatoes and peas and sunflowers. With the little red hen lived a cat and a rat and a mouse. The little red hen cooked their meals and took good care of them, but they were very lazy, and they did not do anything to help her. One morning the sun came up bright and early and woke the little red hen. She popped out of bed and prepared the breakfast: a bowl of cream for the cat, a pan of corn for the rat, and a plate of wheat for the mouse, and a little blue dish of breadcrumbs for herself. Then she woke the cat, the rat, and the mouse. The cat washed himself, and the rat and the mouse brushed their whiskers, and they all sat down to breakfast and ate up every bit. When she had washed and dried the pan, the bowl, the plate, and the little blue dish, and put them away, and swept the kitchen with her little broom, the little red hen said, "Today I think I will bake a beautiful cake." The cat said, "Goody." The rat said, "Goody, goody." And the mouse said, "Goody, goody, goody." Then the little red hen asked, "Who will go to the woodpile and fetch some sticks to heat the oven to bake my beautiful cake?" The cat said, "I won't." The rat said, "I won't." The mouse said, "I won't." So the little red hen said, "Then I'll have to go and do it myself." And she did. Then the little red hen said, "Who will go to the meadow and milk the cow and bring fresh milk to put in my beautiful cake?" The cat said, "I won't." The rat said, "I won't." And the mouse said, "I won't." So the little red hen said, "Well then, I have to go and do it myself." And so she did. Then the little red hen said, "Who will go to the nest and find eggs to beat into my beautiful cake?" The cat said, look at his face. Look at that. The cat said, "I won't." The rat said, "I won't." And the mouse said, "I won't." And the little red hen said, "Then I must go and do it myself." So she did. Then the little red hen said, "Who will go to the shop and buy butter and sugar and flour to put into my beautiful cake?" The cat said, "I won't." The rat said, "I won't." And the mouse said, "I won't." And the little red hen said, "Then I must go and do it myself." And so she did. Then the little red hen took a bowl and a large spoon and mixed butter and sugar and eggs and milk and flour, and she beat the dough and put it into 3 pans and put them in the oven. And the cat sat by the oven door and waited. The rat sat by the oven door and sniffed. The mouse sat by the oven door and looked as if he were getting ready to nibble. When the cake was baked to a turn, the little red hen took it out of the oven, and it smelled so delicious that the cat and the rat and the mouse frisked about the floor. It smelled so delicious that the old fox, far away in his den in the forest, and all the little kit foxes sniffed the air and said, "What is that beautiful smell?" The old fox said, "It smells to me as if the little red hen is baking today." And pretty soon he took down the bag that hung by the door of the den and said to his wife, "I think I'll go and see the little red hen. Perhaps I can bring a nice fresh cake home for the kits. And perhaps I will bring the little red hen home too. She will make us a fine dinner." So put the kettle on to boil and wait. And the old fox came out of the forest and loped along very softly toward the little red hen's house. In the meantime, the little red hen set the layers of cake on the table to cool. And then she took a bowl and spoon and made a frosting. First, she spread the frosting on the first layer, all over very carefully. Then she put the second layer on top of that and frosted all over very carefully. And then she put the third layer on top of that and frosted all over the whole cake very carefully. And it looked perfectly delicious. Then the little red hen said, "Now, who will help me eat this delicious, beautiful cake?" And the cat said, "I will." And the rat said, "I will." And the mouse said, "I will." But the little red hen said, "No, you won't. I'm going to eat it by myself." And just then, the old fox put his head in the window When the little red hen saw him, she was so frightened that she flew up to the top of the cupboard and hid behind the clock. The cat hid under the bed, the rat went into the big hole behind the stove, and the mouse went into the little hole behind the door. The fox came into the kitchen door and looked all around. "Nobody home?" he asked. "But my, what a fine cake. I might as well eat it up." And he was about to gobble the cake when the little red hen flew down at him in a rage and tried to drive him away by flapping her wings and pecking at him. Then the old fox laughed, "Ha ha," and grabbed the little red hen and popped her into his bag and tied her up and went out of the house so fast that he forgot the cake. He loped along toward his den, but the sun was hot and the fox had come a long way. And when he saw a shady tree by the roadside, he lay down to rest for a bit. And before he knew it, he had fallen asleep. As soon as the little red hen heard him snore, she took her little pair of scissors out of her apron pocket and snipped a hole in the bag just big enough to creep out of. When she was out, she quickly found a stone that weighed about as much as she did and put it in the hole that she had cut. Then she took her needle and thread and thimble and sewed up the hole. Then she ran toward home as fast as she could run. When the old fox woke from his nap, he grabbed the bag and started off home. He was in such a hurry to put the little red hen into the pot to boil that he didn't notice that it was a stone bouncing in the bag on his back instead of the little red hen. When he got to his den, the little kits ran out and said, "Oh, Father, have you brought us the good cake?" And then the fox remembered that he had forgotten to bring the cake, but he said, "No, my dears, but I have something much better, a plump little red hen." And he opened the bag and his wife took off the lid of the boiling pot and in he dropped the stone with a great splash. So then the old fox knew that the wise little red hen had outwitted him again. He was very cross, and the fox's family had no dinner at all that day. But the little red hen ran home across the fields until she came to the little house, and there was a cake safe and sound on the table, looking more delicious than ever. The cat heard her and came out from under the bed. The rat came out of his hole behind the stove, and the mouse came from behind the door. They were so glad to see their dear little red hen safe home again that they promised they would never again be selfish and lazy anymore. And so the little red hen forgave them, and they were very happy, and they ate the cake all up, every crumb of it. Thank you.